5 years ago today, on February 26, 2012, Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old male from Florida, was killed by a neighborhood watchman by the name of George Zimmerman. And I feel so late to the party stating their full names and where this took place and the date in which it took place. But I think it's a really significant summarization to look at something on a major anniversary. People usually pay attention to things on the 1st anniversary, the 5th anniversary, and the 10th anniversary, and just every 5 and 10 years after that. We have this thing about lucky numbers, I guess. Now, I remember being told of this case, I was in 8th grade at the time, by a relative. And we were quickly to come to the summarization that this was an unjustified homicide. And in becoming more aware of the facts surrounding the case, I still have to say that I believe it was an unjustified homicide. Now, I believe Trayvon may have been wrong in potentially starting a physical confrontation with Zimmerman, no question. But that also did not warrant him getting shot. That also did not warrant him being killed. And also did not warrant, or really his presence did not warrant him being followed. And that's really where my sympathy or just any type of justification on Zimmerman's part does not, it all fails off of that one detail. Because over the phone with the, law enforcement or the dispatcher, he was told, do not follow him. We don't need you to do that. Those were the man's, or woman, it's been a while, those were the dispatcher's exact words. We don't need you to do that. Still chose to take it into his own hands, and he is now a very hated man for that. And I can't really say that I am somehow bothered by his reputation, because it's something he brought upon himself. But let's also look at a few things. There is a good that can come from activism, that can come from acknowledging something as being ridiculous, not warranted, not needed, which, was really the case involving much of the controversy surrounding this killing. But you have to look at things objectively and know, as a white person, which I believe a lot of whites felt this way, that it was wrong for Trayvon to be killed. But also, as a black person, realize that if America were as racist as we've been led to believe, at least whites in America, you would not have had a very, very significant portion of Trayvon Martin's posthumous defenders calling for the person who killed him to be put in jail or face trial. It just wouldn't have happened. So there are things to take away from this. I've taken away that there are verdicts that I don't agree with, and the best way is to just cope with it and try to find some solution in what has happened. And, whenever I get into an encounter where someone is coming to me with hostility, I try to avoid pursuing aggression with that person. I feel this case really was a leading factor in that personality trait of mine. But yeah, I've definitely learned from it, and I really think we should remember it as an example of activism being reawoken in America, and one of the few times President Obama directly addressed an African-American death that wasn't by a Caucasian police officer.